Let's do Project Euler. So I want to start a new series on this channel where I go through problems on Project Euler and try to devise my own algorithm for those problems. And then after that, comparing my code with other solutions, with top solutions for those problems, and refactoring my code where I see fit. And with that said, this isn't going to be like a tutorial or anything where I teach you how to solve these problems. It's going to be more of me going, like, just more of a walkthrough of me going through the process of solving these algorithms. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so let's start off by reading the problem. So if we list all the natural numbers below 10 that are multiples of 3 or 5, then we get 3, 5, 6, and 9. The sum of these multiples is 23. The goal is to find the sum of all the numbers of 3 or 5 below 1,000. And at first I was confused with the last line. I wanted to figure out if they wanted all the numbers. I wanted to know if they wanted all the numbers, all the multiples of 3 and 5 up to 1,000, or if they want all the sums to equal 1,000. So after doing a little bit of research, I find out that they want all the numbers, all the multiples of 3 or 5 up to 1,000, and then add all those numbers. So what we can do to accomplish that is to first declare, whoops, let me go to my text editor. Now, first thing we want to do is create a variable. Why is my keyboard not working? Huh. Great, guess I'm gonna have to do editing after all. I can't write anything in my text editor. I don't know what's going on. Hold on, let me... There we go. Okay, finally. So let's go ahead and save that, and let's declare a variable called let. No, not let. Let's declare a let variable and call it total. I'm gonna let total equal to 0. Let's do 0. And then right below that, we'll create a function. So we are going to say find multiples of 3 and 5. So create a function, and I'm calling it find multiples of 3 and 5. Actually, yeah. I just want to make it a specific, just so you can understand. So get the brackets and the parentheses and then arrow function. So inside that we want a parameter. So we're going to call that parameter cap? No. Not total. We don't want to call it total. What do we want to call the parameter? How about this? For now, we just use a hard-coded number. In this case, it's going to be 1,000, and then after we get the code down and everything, we will add a parameter and then make it, a little more flexible. So what we want to do is we want to find multiples of a number. Well, we want to find multiples of 3 and 5 up to the number 1,000. So what we can do is we can create a for loop. So for, and then let me turn index to I just to make it. I like I more. So let I equal 0 every time I is less than array.length. We're going to want 1,000 because that's the number we want right here. Whoops. let me actually delete that. Let me quit Euler. So below 1,000, that's the number we want. Then iterate and iterate over it. So we start I out at 0. Every time I is less than 1,000, we increment I by 1 and then restart that, reiterate on that for loop. And then inside here, we don't need this. We don't need this this const. I do need that ending bracket though. So we got the for loop. Now inside here, we're going to want to create an if statement. So if I'm trying to use snippets more. So if, say, if I divisor, that's not divisor, modulus, I think it's modulus. Let's Google that. Percent operator, JavaScript. It is modulus, so I modulus 3. So if I is divisible by 3, so yeah, basically if I is divisible by 3, or where's the, there we go, or if I is divisible by 5, then what we want to do is add it to the total. So take total plus equals I, and that should actually do it. So what we've done so far is we created an arrow function called find multiples of 3 and 5, and actually I think this should be a const. There's no reason to change this. So let's make it a const. So find multiples of 3 and 5, arrow function, and then inside that we have a for loop going on, and we're going to have that go 1,000, not 1,000 times, but until I is equal to 1,000, until I is equal to 1,000. And for each iteration, we have an if statement saying if I is divisible by 3, or if I is divisible by 5. So, say for example, 3 modulus 3 would equal to 0, or 5 modulus 5 would equal to 0. So if either one of those are true, then add that total, add that iteration, that increment to the total. So yeah. Now let's go ahead and run this and see if it works. So find multiples of 3 and 5. That should let me log into the console. So log to the console, paste that, and I should get something. Nope. I need to start up Gatsby. I mean, not Gatsby, Quokka. And if you don't know what Quokka is, it just basically turns your text editor into like a terminal of some sort. So if you look on the screen, I get undefined. So the reason why it does that is because I don't actually return anything. So how about this? Let me go ahead and stick the total in here, and then add that for loop, add that variable in with the for loop, and then return total. That should work. Whoops. Total is, oh wait, return total. There we go. So we got our number here, 233,168, and yeah, let's start looking at some solutions that have already been let's start looking at some solutions for this problem and see what I can refactor with this code. So let me go ahead and bring this browser down to fit in this screen, and then start looking up some Project Euler answers. So go to new tab, problem 1 answer. In JavaScript, I do not know C. I don't know C sharp. There we go. Project Euler. Oops, nope. Project Euler problems 1 through 5 in JavaScript. We just need to look at 1. So I've been wanting to check out this right now. Blah 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 blah. Okay, here we go. So he didn't put his inside a function. Wait, this is in Ruby. I thought this was, so whatever. I know Ruby isn't really, it does, syntactically, Ruby doesn't look too much different from JavaScript. Ruby does, yeah, it doesn't look too different from JavaScript, as you can tell. Ruby does have like vars. JavaScript also has vars, but it's better practice to use let and const because I'm actually gonna make a video on that, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, let's take a look at this. So first off, he didn't put his in a function, so that's 1. But other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. You have the for loop iterating 1,000 times, and if I is divisible by 3 or if it's I divisible by 5, I don't know if I'm using the right terminology. Is it divisibility? It should be. I'll just stick with it because I've already said it so much. So if it's divisible by 3 or 5, then add that to the total and then keep reiterating that. So yeah, I think let's try to look at a different solution. Beginner project Euler number 1 solution. Let's X that out. X that out. I don't care about your cookies. Okay. So their code snippet. Yeah, theirs is pretty much the same thing. Except they have a k. I mean, they have a variable k. I don't understand why. Let's see. Answer k equals I. I think k plus plus. Huh, that's weird. And then there's that. There's a lot of extra. There's a little extra code here. But yeah, okay. So general my solution is I guess pretty good since it's similar to others, and I want to refactor a little bit. I want to give a custom just a custom endpoint. I don't know what I would call it. Custom length. I just got to find out a name. I don't want to call it total because I already called this total. So what can I name it? What can I name it? You know, for the sake of simplicity, I will name it damn it. End number? Total number. No. Max number. Max number. No, just max. Not max number. Simplicity, max number. Max number. And we get 0 because we didn't add a parameter, and now we're going to add 1,000. So now that we add 1,000, we get 233,168, the answer that we got before. But now if I change it to 100, I get 2318. If I do 100 trillion, whatever that is, I'm probably gonna get an error. Yeah, I don't get anything. I don't get anything. Oh no, my computer's running hot. My computer's running hot. Oh no. Oh shit, no. No, that's not what I wanted.
So when I typed in that astronomically high number, my computer started heating up, and then my camera started freezing, and bad things happened. So finished the solution. That was my answer to the that was my answer to the that was my solution to the algorithm, and that's it for the video. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you in the next one.